top 10 things at Sephora that are slightly overpriced that I would rather you get a sale on. What is up, guys? Welcome back. So, Sephora is running this doorbuster situation to try and get us back in the store in person. And so they're running a deal where it's $20 off of $100 or $15 off of $75. And I asked you guys on my Instagram, I'm like, do we even care about this, guys? Like, is this something where you guys want sort of like a top list of my recommendations at Sephora right now? And the majority of you guys said yes. I am absolutely happy to do that. I have basically 10 products in front of me here that I kind of put all on my face today because they're like the things from Sephora that I reach for the most lately. I think there's 10. It's somewhere between 9 and 13. I'm an Aries. We're not big on like things being super exact. And I just figured that might be fun and informational for you guys regardless of whether you actually want to go and spend your money and get excited about this deal at Sephora. I'm going to be totally transparent with you. I'm probably going to shop it, but I don't think it's like the best deal in the world. Like Sephora tends to kind of inoculate us to their, no sale pricing, except for the few times during the year where we get like the VIB bonuses and stuff like that. And so when they do run any kind of sale, like everyone just clamors. And there are a lot of reasons. It's because they partner with so many brands and things like that. And so it's like clearing that with all those different brands, like, a site-wide sale or something is heavy lifting for a big retailer like that. But anyway, without further ado, guys, if you are curious what I would recommend at Sephora, if you want to shop their sale, just keep on watching. Oh man, I put the camera really far away today so that you guys could actually see my outfit because I'm not putting makeup on today. And I feel like I'm further away from you. I want to be like, guys, I'm right here. Just reach out. Anyway, so we'll go in order of how I put these on my face. And again, some of these are kind of like groupings, like based on, honestly, just a few brands. And that's probably because I have really diversified my shopping habits to where I don't shop only at Sephora. And so, there's a lot of brands that I love to use that are not carried at Sephora for various reasons. Anyway, so the first thing that I put on my face today, guys, please don't click off the video. I just have to tell you, it's on Sephora now. You don't have to order it specifically off of the Becca website. And this is the Becca Zero No Pigment Foundation. And I wear this all the time. And I just need to get out of my own way with the shame about it because there are plenty of you guys who have also written to me and you're like, I love the way this looks on my skin. Is this maybe a glorified primer? Yeah. Is it kind of a misnomer? Kind of, yes. But at the same time, it gives you grip on your face that behaves like a foundation. If you like what your skin looks like underneath, I'm wearing it right now with no other complexion coverage on like my cheeks and stuff like that. And I have to say, it's honestly one of the products that I reach for the most, as embarrassing as that is. And the biggest hang up that I had about this was that it's $36. How much do you get in there? It's 1 fluid ounce, just like any other mainstream foundation, basically. And for that reason, I feel okay recommending it in this context of saying like, hey, if this is part of your basket where you're able to take maybe up to 20% off of it, 20% or $20, either way, then, I feel okay recommending this just based on the fact that I truly have loved interacting with it and it makes me really happy for those of us out there who really just like to wear makeup without wearing makeup. I know that that's a very niche group of us, but we do exist. And honestly, that kind of sets the tone because I feel like the entire collection that I'm kind of recommending today are all things that I recommend, especially if you can get a discount on them because they're all slightly overpriced for what they are. That's actually the theme of the video. Top 10 things at Sephora that are slightly overpriced that I would rather you get a sale on. Basically, if you can get away with not paying full price, that's what these products are for. The next one being the Ilia Super Serum Skin Tint. The problem with this is they have a really hard time restocking all these shades. We talked about this in my last Ilia video, but they kind of misjudged how much makeup people were going to be buying during this crisis and didn't realize that a lot of people were really going to want a skin tint. And there's a big hang up about the fact that the shades are all shade matched to the lid colors, and that is making production really slow. So they're kind of trickling through. If you can get lucky enough to find your shade, again, this is like $46. If you can get some money off of this, do it. It is a fantastic foundation. And I do know, while they're not like famous for being super inclusive as far as the shade range is concerned, I believe it to be better than this one, the True Skin Serum Foundation. Correct me if I am wrong. But it is super duper sheer. It kind of wins my skin tint, I don't know, hierarchy. I think it came in pretty much first on that list for me. And today, all I did was use it to like camouflage underneath my eyes and my melasma. And it works really beautifully for that, for like a lightweight day. And it's also got SPF in it, so that's pretty cool too. So again, a great one to get a discount on if you've been in the market. And actually, I put this on in between them. It's back in stock. This is something that I don't even think is overpriced. This is just an utterly fantastic product that I will purchase and repurchase until the end of time. Why? Because it is some kind of magic that I don't understand. So this is the Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector. I think I found out about this on Lauren's channel, I want to say, the Honest Beauty Review, like over a year ago. And then I bought this at a Sephora sale, kind of on a fluke, but it was because I went into the store and stuck my finger in it, and I put it on the back of my hand, and I was like, whoa. This is weird. This is crazy stuff. What this does, and it does come in 2 shades. It comes in this light shade, you know, that's ideal for me, but it also comes in like a medium shade. And I'm not a makeup artist. I haven't used it on other people's skin tones. Hopefully people can find something that works for them. But this does so much work towards camouflaging things on your face without adding concealer, which is unbelievable. So like, I have a spot that healed here that just, you know, it needs to be peeled basically. Underneath my eyes, my melasma, anywhere that's kind of like discolored on my face. This Becca color corrector, it's a color corrector. I don't like the word color corrector. I prefer like a color cancellation or something like that. I just don't like to think that anything on your face is wrong. It needs to be corrected. But I can't say enough about this, and I have used a few different kind of color correcty type products, and there's just something about the weird it's not iridescent, what is that? Like a reflective pink color that camouflages the blemishes on my face or the under eye darkness or any kind of thing that's like undesirable without ever putting on a complexion product, like something that's shade matched. So plus it's castor oil based, like the first ingredient in it is castor oil. And so if you've got like dry under eyes or something like that, it's so nice in the winter. So yeah, I love this. And the best thing about it, I think, besides, you know, just the effectiveness of it, is that it doesn't interfere with my makeup at all. You would think something with castor oil would, but for me, it doesn't at all. And it's been out of stock on the Sephora website for ages, and so I did just check to make sure it was back in stock. And it is. It's great. Next, in order of things that I would not necessarily recommend you spend your money on without a discount, and that is this. Now, granted, let's be fully transparent here. Charlotte Tilbury almost always has some kind of bundle deal on her website. Her stuff is super overpriced, but at the same time, you can almost always get some kind of sale if you order through her website. Whereas Sephora, you're gonna get faster shipping in most cases. I don't know. I've done both. I ordered this off of her website, I believe, and not off of Sephora. I think it was just because it was the only place that carried it at the time, like Sephora was a little bit delayed. Anyway, this is the Airbrush Bronzer. There are 2 really, really cool things that I like about this. One is that it's refillable. You punch this out once you're done using it. You can buy refill pans on her website. I don't think that they have them on Sephora. And that is really cool. I just think that that kind of, it makes a statement in the mainstream cosmetic industry that's like, hey guys, we shouldn't be just making clunky, heavy packaging for everything. It's not perfect, but it is a step in the right direction. And also, again, not perfect, but a step in the right direction is her shade range on this. And I speak specifically to people who have a challenge finding bronzer for the paleness of their skin. There are definitely a whole, I think Vesca just put out a whole bunch of bronzers and stuff that are really good for deep skin tones and stuff like that. I don't think that this one goes like dark enough for like the deepest skin tones, because deep skin tones still want a bronzer, but for the pale girls, it's also really hard to find a bronzer that doesn't look super fake. And I'm wearing this right now. What I like about this too is that you can wear it on top of an unpowdered face. I wear it all the time on top of the Becca Zero or on top of any other kind of like skin tint or lightweight foundation that I've spread really thinly, and it doesn't ever disturb anything, it doesn't catch. It's actually an incredibly beautiful formula. Like airbrush is the right word for it, and there's just something about the agreeability of that shade that looks like as much of an authentic tan as I could possibly get away with without self-tanning or going and like, you know, really harming myself in a tanning bed or something. So I do really appreciate that I got a shade in this line that really, really works for me, and I think that's kind of the remarkable thing. But it's $55, guys. If you can get some money off of this, get some money off of this, you know? Okay, let's talk about some blushes because that's why people come to my channel anyway. Most of my favorite blushes, cream blush wise, are not carried at Sephora. These two being the exception. And honestly, now that I've tried this color haze from Ilia, I don't know which one is my favorite formula anymore. These are both on my face right now. This is the color haze in Waking Up. They sent me this. I bought this ages ago. It has been expired for, I don't know, probably like 4 or 5 months. I can't bring myself to get rid of it because I love it so much. So this is a Fine Romance in the multi-stick. This color is unreal and the texture of it is really, really beautiful. So this is, they claim this one's actually dewier than this one, oddly, even though this one is a liquid, but it does go pretty matte on the skin. I also just, you know, little perks that shouldn't matter, but this one smells like vanilla. Oh, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. And it's just like a really, really nice rusty rose that kind of like goes somewhere between a blush and a bronzer color on me. And I find that it works really beautifully. It's super pigmented, so you don't need a ton, but like, we've talked about this, that's a tiny package. There's no getting around that that's a tiny package. And I honestly think that both of these, while this has lasted me ages, it looks tiny, but like, I haven't made it through it and I use it all the time. So I mean, you know, do with that what you will. Regardless, great things to get a discount on, and I just really, really like Ilia's take on not just their cheek product formulas, but the shades that they do. This one is just, I have to swatch it for you. A Fine Romance. So the reason that I go with a Fine Romance kind of like as a finishing touch on my cheeks, a lot of times when I've built like other sort of watercolor bases and other things, I have whole videos on like how to layer blush and how to layer cream cosmetics. So maybe I'll link those for you guys in case you're new here, because it is a passion of mine. It's something that I pursue on an everyday basis. But the main reason that I used this is because I like to have some kind of unification between like my lips and my cheeks usually. And I'm kind of skipping steps here, but I used it to kind of unify with this. So I'm skipping to lips here. We'll go back, but when I thought of recommendations at Sephora, this is the first thing that popped into my head. This is such an amazing formula. This is the Rowan Kiss My Liquid Lip Balm, and I'm sure if you are in any way part of the like clean beauty community on Instagram or YouTube or whatever, I am not the only one on your feed raving about these, because this formula is out of control. It is the weirdest, coolest, oh, it's so smooth and bouncy and minty, and these colors are gorgeous. So the color that I am wearing right now is Scout, and I have to say, Scout and Charlie, I was like, Charlie or Remy? Charlie are my favorites. I really expected Remy to be my favorite because it's the palest shade and that's typically how I go. But it is such a pale shade that it actually goes a little bit too peachy orange on me, and I find that I have to wear like a lip liner with it or something like that. It's not a deal breaker by any means, but this is the one that I'm wearing right now, and it looks, Scout looks like it's going to be very, very deep berry in the tube, and it isn't. I wear it with my Kackie lip liner just so you kind of get like a little bit of a brown blend on it. It's such a versatile formula. It's super nourishing. It's very plumping. Doesn't do anything weird that I can tell around, you know what I mean? Like that white, it kind of behaves like a lip oil basically. It's a liquid lip balm, like that's the idea. And it is an unmatched formula to me. I want them to come out with so many shades. I literally bought these all on separate orders because it was like, I tried one and I was like, I need another one. And then I was like, I need the third one. And like when they come out with more, I will buy more. Not just because the formula is so awesome, but I also believe in this level of pigment saturation, which is pretty kind of like medium to light, I could pretty much wear any shade that they put out. Kind of like the Glossier Generation G in that sense. I mean, very different formula, but just the fact that it is such a sheer wash of color. Like, they might not be my favorite, like Remy isn't my favorite, but I do think that, you know, because they're so sheer, I can still get away with wearing them. I'm still gonna use it. So yeah, if I had to recommend a color, like for fall, I would definitely go with Scout. I just think it's so pretty. I lost count. We're hopping backwards. And this is something that I don't know. I think I talked about it for a couple of videos, but I haven't gotten a chance to mention it again in a while. And it's really weird in that sense because I use this so often. I use this almost every day that I do my makeup. This is the Patrick Ta She's That Girl double blush situation. So you use the powder, I use the powder, and his powder formula for blush is sheer, which is so nice. It makes a really good complement to when I want to use a bunch of cream products on top of it. So I use the Charlotte Tilbury powder, I use this powder, and then I can just play with creams on top. I don't understand why it works, but it works. And I wouldn't have ever even thought to try it had he not put them in the same palette together, and so I am liberated thanks to Patrick Ta. So underneath here is your cream, and she's pretty pigmented. And you can get a lot of bang for your buck out of this one. And it is a very beautiful, pure, almost bubblegum pink color without being hot, hot pink, because I can't really wear hot, hot pink. But I want all the shades. I want all of them. His formula is so beautiful. And I think that blush is like the thing that I'm most able to experiment with on my face. It's just like one of my favorite things to kind of like play in, I guess. And so I don't mind, you know, if it's something that's a little bit more out there in that respect, but this shade is super, super agreeable. Like, it's just a very easy color that lives on my complexion in a really nice way. And I mean, that's not a small amount of product, and his stuff is not crazy high priced. I feel like it's like kind of fair to middling for Sephora. You know, it's not Sephora's house brand pricing, which honestly, don't get me started on the fact that they have this whole like clean beauty under $20 section at Sephora, and it's all Sephora's house clean brand, and none of it is cruelty free. And I'm like, really? You're gonna tell people it's clean? And it's like they have a whole vegan website, like vegan part of their website too, where they're like, look at all this vegan makeup, and like a lot of it's not cruelty free. And you're like, I think if you care about animal rights, you probably care about animal rights. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. But regardless, Patrick Ta makes beautiful products. I love his entire aesthetic. I believe in what he's doing, and I'm always eager to try more of his products. And this is no exception. It is so good. I'm gonna put on a little bit more lip balm because I'm like chewing it off my mouth right now. I really have to pick and choose my fall shades, because as soon as you get into kind of like deeper stuff, it stands in really stark contrast on my face. So it's so nice to find things that are kind of watercolory, and it's so plumping. It feels so good. Okay, among all the other things that I could mention right now, one thing that I really need to just make sure that I always mention in these videos, because it's like things that are worth your money, but boy, wouldn't it be nice to get a discount on them, is just all things Hourglass. So I have here, just as a placeholder to talk about this, the Hourglass Ghost Edit from like last holiday. I don't think that you can get this on Sephora anymore. I think they might have it on Beautylish, but they are releasing a, for lack of a better word, like a brick color that's pretty deep looking in their blush. And while a lot of people I know who are complected similarly to me are very excited about it, I look at that and I see something very similar to Thrive's blush in Angelina. And I passed Angelina along because I realized that Thrive, they never, you know, came out and said it to me specifically, but it feels, in contrast to Rosy, their pink shade, very much like it's meant for deep skin tones. And for that reason, I think this is Hourglass. I don't know whether they've like, again, come out and said it, but this feels very much like their first foray into being like, hey guys, can we come to the inclusivity club? we'll try and make a deep skin blush, you know, because their formula is so beautiful. There have been so many like black and deep skinned influencers who've lamented the fact that they can't really appreciate their beautiful, beautiful formula because a lot of their stuff is just too light for their skin, which is not fair. And so I am really excited about that coming out. I would say keep an eye out for that if you're interested in it. I'm probably not going to buy it though, just because I don't think that it's like for me. But Hourglass stuff is very expensive, but very high quality in almost every case. Even their mascara, I have to admit, if you can't get Thrive in your hot little hands, this is a very, 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 very similar mascara for slightly more money. It's $29 versus $24. It is still a very good mascara, and I do reach for it. Occasionally, I'm wearing it right now because it works exactly the same as the Thrive. So, and some people argue that it is a little bit lighter weight, which I kind of agree with. I think that maybe it'll like mature in the tube a little bit more slowly. I'm not really sure. There are nuanced differences between the formulas, but it's very, very good still. And then this video didn't get a whole lot of attention because this isn't really what my channel does. Like, I get it. Nobody really comes to my channel like, hey, Kackie, can I get like a full beat long wearing wear test and you tell me all of the things that I can wear to be photographed on my wedding day or something? Like, I'm just not that resource for a lot of people. But I still really wanted to know because this is a very expensive setting spray from Hourglass. This is the Veil Soft Focus Setting Spray, and I wanted to know if it works. If you're looking for a setting spray that makes your makeup truly immovable and also stay dewy, yeah, this works really, really well. Be really careful because when you spray it, it feels like nothing, but it's something. It's a whole lot of something. If you watch that video, I kind of sprayed it, and I sprayed it like probably like 12 times on my face because I was like, where is it? What's happening? And they tell you to keep your eyes closed. I'm breathing it in right now. It's got a lot of glycerin in it, so it tastes sweet. But anyway, I sprayed it so many times on my face because it felt so light. And then I opened my eyes after it had dried and I was like, oh dear, I've made myself into a grease monkey. Because it just went so dewy. But even with that amount on my face, it dried down. And I mean, I've talked about this in my last video. I haven't gotten Botox in a while, and so things will tend to like crease in my scowl lines and stuff. Not with it. Nope. Makes your makeup flexible. It's freaky deaky. I don't know what it does. It's all the glycerin and everything in it, but the combination of ingredients makes it so that your makeup flexes with your face and it actually recovers with your face. So the answer is yes. If you're in the market for something very specific like this, absolutely. And I mean, I wore the Exa foundation the other day and I wore it with powder, like a fully powdered face, and like did all powder makeup on top. And I put this on top lightly, like 3 spritzes, you know? And it made a huge difference. So it can be like an everyday setting spray as well. It just doesn't do the same thing that like my Onami does, where it like saturates your whole face of makeup and then dries really fast. It's much more like a subtle mist, and so like it's just a little bit, you know, it takes a little getting used to, but it does absolutely do what it says that it does, and it's $48 for 4 ounces. So, I mean, it's still a lot of setting spray, but it's still really expensive. So, you know, get your dollars off if you've had your eye on that. Okay, and then the only other thing, because I just actually saw it on Sephora's website, you guys might have seen this living in the back of my videos lately, and yes, most of the time it is actually lit. Oh my gosh. So this is absolutely not a secret. It's a cult favorite, but it's not a secret. This is the Capri Blue Volcano Candle. And unlike that thing back there that I said in my last Sephora, like, you know, will I buy it? I was so excited to try the Voluspa Santal Vanille. Nope, don't like that at all. I'm burning it because I have it, but like it's just really not my favorite. I buy one of these every single year, at least. It's just like such a summer scent to me. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's the smell of Anthropologie. When you walk in Anthropologie and you just get that like burst of citrus, this is that. And so this is a volcano candle, and they came out with the cutest jars this year. And so I bought this one actually on Amazon just for full price. And you know, they have them everywhere, but this packaging is so freaking cute that I literally, the reason that it's not up here anymore is because I took it downstairs so I like take it to every room with me so that I can appreciate it. Lasts a really long time. I wonder what they say the burn time is on this. I don't know. It's a very, very long time though. And keep an eye out. There are other scents in the volcano candles, or in the Capri Blue candles. So if this is what if you're interested in my recommendation, I prefer the volcano scent. But yeah, also, I mean, I don't know what your decor is like, but that is my aesthetic all day long. So keep in mind, and I always say this with Sephora, they have other sections besides makeup and skincare. And I didn't include any skincare in this video because I don't really buy any skincare from Sephora, to be honest. Like, and it's not like anything that I'm like against. It's not any decision that I made. It just happens to be like the skincare that I use isn't from there right now. That's just kind of how it worked out. But anyway, yeah, keep in mind that they have other whole sections. You know, they've got fragrance, not a lot of them are cruelty free. They've got candles, they've got home fragrance, they've got body stuff, you know, they've got hair, all that kind of stuff. You know, if you're planning on like taking advantage of the sale, you know, keep those things in mind too. But also keep in mind, guys, I mean, granted, it's August, I believe, and I always get this wrong. I have searched so many times online, and I don't know where people find the schedule or whether they just know off the top of their heads, but they had a sale in April, and I want to say that they do the next one in November, the VIB sale. So if you like are kind of, you know, not really sitting their finger on the button, then who cares? But yeah, they have another one in like the true VIB sale where it's 20% off indefinitely for VIB Rouge in November, I'm pretty sure. And also, this is intended to bring people in store. So you can use this unlimited times in store and you can use it one time online. So, you know, definitely weigh that against your personal risk for going out and, you know, going to Sephora. You know, weigh that against your own, however you feel about that. But also, my friend Kate just went in store. Everything is no touch. So it's like, I'm pretty sure like the samples, there's some kind of system with the samples where they'll let you smell them or whatever. The actual products themselves that are behind the samples, you can only touch them if you are going to buy them. So I think that that's kind of the safety measure they're taking. We all try to navigate this and figure out what the answer is, guys. You know, I don't think anybody has like the answer, but that is Sephora's answer at the moment in order to open. So one time online, unlimited in store, and that is annoying, but it's literally because this entire promotion is to incentivize people to come back into the Sephora stores because, you know, they employ people. And everybody's kind of trying to find some semblance of normalcy right now. So I hope this was helpful for you. If this was not the video that you wanted to see, if you were like, I don't care about this sale, then feel free to disregard. You probably wouldn't have made it this far in the video anyway. I totally understand. I am not here to tell you that you need to jump on this because it is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So many of these brands do sales on their own websites all the time. So just bear all that in mind. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this, at least as an opportunity to hang out. So if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you guys did. And tell me what you're excited about if you did buy anything from the Sephora sale this time around. What did you get and what were you excited about? So thank you guys so much for watching and for hanging out with me today. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.